We're in critical times. These next 5 years are going to make the difference in what our community looks like for decades ahead, because the economic condition is so bad, and we all get that. It's time for us as a community to come together. We need to create jobs. We talked a lot about that, and I'm a firm believer that government is not the source of jobs. That government is the source of the atmosphere that provides the employers that want to come to Modesto because of the way we treat them. I think public safety is a big issue. We have cut the budget. We cut from 135 million to 100 million, and most of that's been in services. And while I think it's been difficult for us, I think there's some good things and bad things. I think we can still do more there. But I'm going to introduce a spending cap on the budget, because I don't want in 5 years, when we start getting more, the economics get better and things get better, we start just spending it again, go back and spend. I would rather keep our budget to a moderate amount, and then say the budget got back up to 135 million. We'd have $35 million every year to spend on types of things like we talked about, like magnet schools for art, magnet schools for engineering, and any other type of thing we would like to do. I think we have a spending issue in my business, in my home. If I make a certain amount of money, I adjust my life to that. We all do that. We've all had to do that these past years, and government needs to do that too. I think we've still got work to do there. I think the issues of pensions and compensation of public employees. Read about it in the New York Times, read about it in every publication. Almost every day there's something about pension reform for public employees, and we need to do that too. I think also, I mentioned the family values and working with education. I think that's one thing I never, as a council member, when I first got on, I never saw that as something that the council member should do. But working with Arturo Flores, who's a former superintendent of Modesto City Schools, he showed me that if there's a third grader that's having troubles, probably going to end up in gangs and have difficulty and end up in the jail system, someday that's going to be my burden as a council member and as your future mayor. So I could not usurp my responsibility. So I had to begin to work and help the schools so that they could help the schools and the families so that they can have the most resources available so that we can make our community a better place. I think there's difficult decisions ahead, and it requires some strong leadership to do that so that we can push through it. And I'm excited about the future. I think that we have a great future, but nobody's going to solve it for us. We have to solve it ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate March.
Thank you. I want to tell a little bit more about myself as I lead into the vision that I have for this city and where I think that we should go. So I'm an MJC graduate, AA with honors, 1976. That makes me a little older than most of you. I went on to Berkeley, got my degree there. Later on, returned to Berkeley to get my MBA, and I got my MBA in finance. And I understand budgets. I understand how to fix budgets, how to read budgets, and I think I've been a leader in that on the council, and that's why we've had a balanced budget for all the years that we've had it, along with all the rest of the council members, by the way. They've all worked hard at that. Secondly, I've worked hard to really build my support throughout the community, every segment of the community. I actually have been endorsed by the Latino Community Roundtable, and all of these, I think, are partly because of my vision and my commitment to Modesto, and I am truly committed to helping Modesto be better. I have leaders within the Chinese community supporting me. I have leaders in the Black community supporting me. I have Lao leaders that are actually walking precincts with me almost every week. And I have that because of the support that I've given throughout every segment of this city. And I'll continue to do that. And my vision is that we need to build our city core up and not sprawl out onto our farmland. I'm dedicated to that. I'm dedicated to the way we do business here to ensure that we start building up, putting mixed-use development downtown, where you have apartments and condos and lofts and all different forms of housing above shops and offices on the first floor, where you have 4-, 5-, and 6-story buildings down on 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8th Street. So that whole area starts being a place where you can live and work and play and shop without having to get in your car. Where if you're a commuter, you're right at the freeway and can get onto the freeway and go. If you work downtown, you can walk to work. Where you start having bistros and cafes and flower shops and shops, entrepreneurial shops throughout, so that we get regular people running their own businesses and living and playing downtown, where downtown becomes a true destination, not just for the Gallo Art Center, which is fabulous, not just for the State Theater or some of the nightclubs that are down there, but it's a 24-hour day where there's people living and playing and really having a core of a vibrant, real downtown. And that's my goal, that's my vision for Modesto. And I'd like to thank all of you for joining us tonight.